Should we add like... Let's main deck a Fulminator over the Wisp. It's just like without the main deck Fulminator, like when you run into Tron, Titan, Belcher, it's like you just like you have a plan of like looping, tutoring your one of Harbinger with your tutoring your one of Fulminator with your Harbinger and then looping it. I guess it's just much harder to win without it. So let's just main deck one over the Wisp and then give me a second to get the Fulminator. Can I sub and give 2 subs? No, you cannot. Because you get... You know, another thing, too, is, like, Pioneer is also, like, a really different... This is a lesson I've learned I've had to, like, learn the hard way several times in Brewing, I think. Is that when you try to port a deck from one format to another, it does not work very often. And it's even more... It can't even be more than the fact that we're missing, like 8 really important pieces, but it's also the fact that formats are, it's not Modern Legacy, Pioneer, Standard, it's not just that they are different power levels, they just have very different dynamics. And so like Rakdos mid-range, mono green are like always litmus tests for decks like this, and just kind of looking at them, I'm worried about the Rakdos mid-range, and I'm worried about the mono green matchup with decks like this. So maybe those matchups are fine. I truly just don't play enough Pioneer to say super confidently one way or the other. But I think just trying to force a modern deck into older formats, I'm not saying it's a mistake here for sure, but I am saying it's a mistake I've made in the past. So I guess I encourage you to keep an open mind and just try to understand, is this deck a modern power level or Pioneer power level deck, or a deck that fits well in the Pioneer? But I would also I don't know what to suggest over on a Crop Captain. There could be another payoff. I think it's a good idea. And I encourage you to work on it. It looks very fun, but I don't think I've got too much more for you than that. Pug, think it's Twitch Prime. Okay, so we are likely... Yeah, so we'll go Harbinger, Tutor Fury, and then we can Ephemerate Rebound on the Harbinger next turn and get a Reef that we can Vial in. Burning Tree? Yeah, Burning Tree could be the right call there, Doom. I think I like that idea. You know, if you're looking for Pioneer deck techs, Doomwake is like way better for the Pioneer deck techs at the moment than me too. Although I'm gonna be like trying to get a little bit back into the swing of things. Only played Explorer to get Ring 34. That's awesome. Yeah, I saw some people online tagging me in I think decks like that. Maybe you were one of them. And I was like, man, I wish I knew exactly what Explorer was. Oh, you know, I should have played around Dispute by like doing this first. Thankfully, I didn't have it. Goodbye, opponents' creatures. Is your version of Boris like queued up today? Awesome. Maybe we could all watch twitch.tv/Doomwake today. So I'm going to leave one of the vials on one here. Just in case we hit a Flamekin Harbinger. Let's just get another Reef. So I should have stacked these differently. Mickey, love you, buddy. Good to hear from you. Let's catch up soon. Thank you for the 47 months. Aaron Jones with the 12. Thank you. Is there any versions that want to run Vials in Collected Company? I know that you are a Magic player, and all Magic players are addicted hopelessly to Collected Company. But Collected Company it's just not that good, and like Recommission is way better in this deck. But you'd play it over Recommission if you wanted to play it. Did you went back from Force of Vigor? I love the Force of Vigor and scales. I would be very unlikely to. Yeah, let's take up all these so we can maybe start vialing in 5s. I would be very unlikely to cut the Force of Vigors for the foreseeable future. Well, first time we draw a Fulminator, there are no targets, although they do just concede the game, so that's sick. I have some sideboard cards. Yeah, and again, a lot of times you're gonna just want to remove the Brushfire Elementals, but I think they're very, very good game 1 cards. Probably gonna trim an Awakener also here. Get another Harbinger, and then the Reef seems free. Oh, you know what? That was better. Get another Harbinger. I think that's not the first time I missed that line. I'll try not to miss it next time.
What's up? It's me, your friend, Aspiring Spike.
Oh, we got an Ingot Chewer, got an Ephemerate. It's probably hard to ask for too much more. I got Aether Vial too. Favorite cycle from Magic's history? Nothing is immediately coming to mind, but that's usually the case in here. I don't know. I'll think about it.
What's up? It's me, your friend, Aspiring Spike.
Any changes to Brooded Rockert deck? That deck is really bad against creativity, but I was trying to figure out how to play Kaheera in the deck since Kaheera and Rockert just are so beautiful together. Maybe one day. I love tuning in to see Brushfire Elemental 4 copies of sideboard. Well, I mean, I think you really want the card in the main deck, and then these kind of matchups where you're controlling, you sideboard them. Okay, so we get to Ingot Chewer this. Would love to draw a land so I can Ephemerate the Ingot Chewer. But I can also just Ephemerate the Solitude later, so it'd be fine. And I guess I should probably be tutoring up a... What is this card? It's not there anymore. The 1 mana evoke incarnation that can kill this Urza Saga before they Needle my Vial. Ugh. Well, maybe I should Solitude Ephemerate instead. What are the chances they brought in Needle for Vial? Yeah, Wispmare, thank you. I think I'm just going to not play around Needle and Vial here. Although now I guess I kind of get the best of both worlds. I'm going to take a hit. But I have Solitude if they cranial plating it to not die. Go Stab! 32 months, thank you. Have we done a deck with Cure, Rockrick, and Winota? I haven't. So the one big issue is there's not a lot of good playable 1-mana multicolor creatures. I know me saying this, we're going to see a lot of suggestions in chat for unplayable. There are 1-mana multicolor creatures, but most of them are not good. The best is the one from RTR, the amazing owl. But that's the top of the list. Have I traded Vesperlark? I have. I'm not a big fan of that card. I think Recommission is mostly way better, and I think with Recommission you're just not that interested in that kind of effect anymore. So I can't Recommission Ingot Chewer or Foundation Breaker. So I guess we just Harbinger another Reef. Select the triggers where that resolves last. We'll Solitude Ephemerate. Tech for 4 dogs. Another Bombardment, huh? This time with 1 copy of Mount Doom. Do you have a legendary artifact for it, or is it just... Oh, you also have the Ob. Subtlety? My Flamekin Harbinger. Oh, gross. Or gross for them. Because it's not very good. Alright, I guess I will put that on top. And then before my opponent can draw another Subtlety, or Subtlety for plus blue card. Subtlety Affinity is quite the clickbait deck title. New Ob is Busterino? I hope so. For your sake. Seems pretty unplayable to me, but that's my take on the matter. Liking Headless Rider lately, it seems. Haven't seen that Tragic Slip art. Still do think that White Splash for ending is good. It's okay to not. Yeah, I think Ob is pretty unplayable. Very fragile. Kind of inherently win more, needing you to have like pingers in play. Dies the Lightning Bolt. Does a 4-mana creature. Does have synergy with Mount Doom, which is cool. Seems very fun. Emery. Well, that is not super long for this world. Yeah, the Lord of the Rings cards are going to be modern legal. David, 14 months ago, thank you. How's Mom? Mom is a very exciting format. Our set. I actually just spent a lot of time like drafting it for Sealed PTQ. And I guess playing Sealed for Sealed PTQ. It is a set I like a lot. Let's take this vial up to 4. Maybe I was supposed to find a reef first. Harbinger is so good. I can't. There's always so much Harbinger, or there has historically been a lot of Harbinger hate among elemental players, but it is just like in this version especially, it is really good. Okay, good to find a Solitude. I'm just gonna cast this. Although I should have left a red mana floating, not a blue, for that reason exactly. So all those oopsies in the business. That's a professional oopsie. Again, 19 months ago. Thank you, Mets, with the 32. Yeah, I mean, I encourage you to try the Ob if you think it's busted. 4 dogs. I think this could be not very playable, but hopefully, hope to be wrong. Hope to be wrong. I worked on the Lord of the Rings set. Can I tell us which character or scene from the card I'm most excited for? Yeah, I'm most excited for the scene where Frodo and Sam kiss gently in the morning, and then so like it's actually a saga. It's called Frodo and Sam Kiss Gently, and then the first chapter 1 is the morning, and then you have afternoon kissing, and then you have evening kissing, and then it transforms into nighttime. But it just that side of the card is all censored. The art is just mostly censored, actually. So like don't tell anybody I'm breaking the NDA by telling y'all that. Yeah, it costs 69 mana. 69 mana. Which was actually my design suggestion, was for it to cost 69 mana. So you can thank me for that one. I don't know, they're really getting weird with the design in this one. Probably have to mulligan this on the draw on the blind. Just like no 1 or 2 mana plays. Alright, this has a 1 or 2 mana plays. We're gonna put back the Stomping Ground so we can go Sacred Foundry, Breeding Pool for all 4 colors. Yeah, that's an EDH card. Oh, funny. I don't get the joke. Why is Spike going so hard? Well, the joke is I can't tell you about the set. I'm under an NDA. I can tell you I worked on it, and that's like it. So the joke is I've had so many people ask me what's in the set, despite me saying this many times, that I'm just making up ridiculous stuff. Is that is the joke? That is the joke, and also no. And just like all jokes, they're way better if you just like dryly explain them. My opinion on standard rotation. Yeah, that's actually something. This is something I think is very important to say as a content creator. I have not played standard since I last played a standard PT like 3 years ago. I haven't touched it since then. I watch Amy play Standard sometimes, and like Amy is like the only person I ever watch play Standard, but I'm not even like paying a lot of attention. You know, I'm just listening to Amy, and it's just like I just can't give you like feedback. You should listen to people like Amy or the pros who just prep for the Standard Pro Tour on opinions on the Standard format. I'm just not someone who can give a qualified opinion. Is me working on a part of the Jokers that I wrote. That is real. I like 2 years ago ish consulted on the Lord of the Rings set, mostly looking for power level breaks in the format. To make sure that there was not going to be Rose and Hogax and all that stuff. And that's about it. I could give feedback on things, and when the full set is spoiled, I can and plan on doing a longer YouTube video talking about my experiences and my thoughts on things and what that was like, and I'm looking forward to that. But just until that is ready to come out, I cannot say anything else. Did I get a preview card? I currently do not have a preview card. I don't know if they've given out preview cards yet, because it's still like pretty ways away. But I also think like whoever runs the preview card list does not currently have me on the list. I think it's because the last time I got a preview card, or I got the Double Master box thing, I made a YouTube video with it, and I opened on stream. I don't think I tweeted it. I think they just look at your Twitter. Yeah, but again, as far as Lord of the Rings, I would like all of the credit and none of the blame, if that would be great. Just all the credit, none of the blame. It'd be awesome. Okay, they found a Murktide. I no longer have my Solitude. Deciding any idea if there's League, we'd be able to speak on those? What do you think? What do you think? Oh, baby. So greedy to unearth this, because if I don't, I just need to find a white card or a land, and I can Solitude the Kaheera. I didn't find either. So greedy, but I can Fury to get 2 more looks at a white card or a land, or now also another Fury would do it. Oh wow, that was the least likely scenario, but that works. Still no lands. That's okay. Stack like this because I'm just gonna get another Reef, so I want to be able to like maybe do something with my mana or find lands. All those triggers, none lands. That's okay though. Just more Reefs all the time. If I console for making it not broken and being first person maker for cassette, how's that look? You can decide that, I guess. I will say this, like the set is already. I can say this. The set is already like pretty different from when I saw it. There are like already I have seen like pretty like the One Ring. And again, I can talk about cards as they're spoiled. So the One Ring is completely different from the last time I saw it, I believe. There's like almost like nothing the same. I can't say what it was like because that's another thing that's kind of tough, is I'm not allowed to say what things were like because they may want to like use those designs in the future. Let's just uncounterable this other Reef. No, that's okay, TM. It's okay. Like the One Ring, like I know actually I designed the 8-key deck. Yeah, I don't know, but like it's gonna be sick in 8-key. That card is gonna be nuts in 8-key. Did I know what Tinted by the Ring did? Yeah, I did. I did know. And again, I'm just my design philosophy. I don't love those kind of mechanics in 60 card formats, but that's just my philosophy, right? It's just so tough. Everybody has like such different ideas always on like what Magic should be and like what kind of mechanics are good for constructed, but just like all the ones where you like just have to pick up another card and read, I'm just kind of against them. From like but it's not like, I don't know, it's just kind of like, you know, personal design philosophy ideas. Definitely not a hill to die on either. Alright, so we get to do the combo off thing with Brushfire here, it looks like. Looking for more lands, for more damage. Why not cast the first Brushfire on a second stack? Oh, that was better. For sure. I think we'll be okay, but yeah, next time. Alright, definitely liking the sideboard plan. 1 Wispmare, 4 Endurance for the Fulminator / Old Flicker Wisp, and then Brushfires. Let me actually update the Stream Decker. We have a brought back version of the Elementals deck. It is different from this version. I think you want to be playing Elish Norn, you want to be playing Emiria. You can find that list in the Stream Decker if you do a little bit of digging. We trophied with that version at least once. I think just once. Alright, well, if they have a Spell Pierce for my Vial, we're in bad shape. I don't think they're going to have a ton of Spell Pierces post-board, so let's hope. Maybe they will just not be able to counter it. Let's go. Spike doesn't get Spell Pierced on a stream. Weird. You have a Braid or something, though. We'll see. Just a more aggressive. Yeah. This version is more aggressive with the Brushfires. It's not a huge difference from the last version of the deck we played. But the implementation of Brushfire is also like completely new mana base. Sideboard's different, and the Recommission Elementals deck has been good the whole time we've been playing it, ever since Recommission came out. It is a really nice upgrade for the deck, but it has definitely been evolving a lot over time, and this has definitely felt like the most tuned the deck has been, and is if I want to play this weekend's Saturday challenge. On stream, and I'm not like locked in on anything, but if I was gonna play something, if I had the decision to play something right now, it would likely be this. Okay, let's pass back. I think I'm likely going to just cast the flame. I'm gonna take a draw and then go like Violin, Risen Reef, cast Harbinger, Violin Awakener responds to a removal spell, bring back the Reef. Yeah, the Skelemental I didn't like very much, especially it was easier to cast. You could cast it on that mana base because you had all the other Cavern effects. Obviously, you don't have those here. Okay, so now, yeah, I think I'm still gonna go for the. Okay, they're just gonna. Oh, I meant to let this Surveil trigger resolve first. That's okay too. Bro, boy, nerd. Thank you for the 6 as well. Is there any deck in Modern you've seen Trinisphere work in? I mean, it's sometimes an okay card in the Great Creator tutor target. There's been some like mono green Trinisphere decks. I think that Saffron Olive has played some. What a draw. I think at the moment there's not really a Trinisphere deck that I could like actively recommend to you though. Sleeve, 14 months, thank you. Yeah, a lot of people do like the elemental that like flips into a land. For me, it's a matter of card quality versus consistency, of course. Did I play my land? I did play my land, so we'll put that into play too. It's just, you know, card quality versus consistency, and I think being on either side of that argument is totally reasonable. Well, this was a good turn. I took a lot of game actions. Took a lot of game actions this turn. Well, I mean, pretty good against my recommissions. There's no reason for them to main phase that against the recommission deck, though. I guess we get Omnath. Which we can cast if we find a land off these triggers. Which we didn't find, which is okay. Very ahead. Just gonna endurance them. Alright. On the draw, new matchup, we have Fury Ephemerate. I watched the Pro Tour, so I was there in Minneapolis, so I was like checking in, but I wasn't actively watching because I was playing some sealed PTQs at the time. Mosh 6 months. I'm gonna mulligan this. I think if you knew the matchup though, you could keep. And it's pretty easy. Keep Rebecca Harbinger. Did I like taking a long break? So like, this was a weird week for me. So like, one, it didn't really feel much like a break because I was playing Magic the entire time, but I was living in like a dreamland where I got to play Limited and like really dive into the format. And I love Limited, and like that was really nice. So Spins of Footfalls. Drew a Risen Reef. Let's get a Solitude. So I got to live in this beautiful limited dreamland. Maybe I get another reef. Yeah, I think I just need to get a second one. I don't know. I guess I could Harbinger back the first reef. We'll see. We'll see. I got to live in this wonderful dreamland though. I got to play limited all day. That was great. It didn't feel like much of a break since I was playing Magic the whole time. And I also like was going through I just kind of like chronic like insomnia sometimes, like probably like every 2 or 3 months I just don't sleep for a week, or I can only get a couple hours sleep, you know, a night. And so like starting from like last Monday to like last night, I slept like no more than 3 hours a night, and it was just tough. It was just really tough. Last night I slept for 14 hours. It was awesome. It was so sick. Put it maybe on main deck Blood Moon, so let's just go and get planes here. It was just it was amazing. So I know I'm kind of rambling, but it wasn't, you know, it didn't really feel like much like a vacation. I had a great time. I feel pretty refreshed. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I could use a trip with Esther to Maine and eat lobster and live in a lighthouse and do something. Mushroom kind of sounds like acute insomnia. Yeah, I haven't seen a doctor for it, but I scheduled some doctor appointments yesterday, finally. I encourage all of you in chat to take care of yourself and don't be like your friend Spike, who neglects his issues for too long. Let's leave up Ephemerate instead of cast the Vial. I'm feeling great, Nerdor, thanks for asking. Especially because I got both dogs with me here today. Eric, be seeing a doctor? Yeah, I am. I scheduled some appointments. I have like, it's gonna be a while, but yeah, I need to, you know, I need to take care of myself, and I've never been very good at it, so we're working on it. Yeah, I showed them earlier. It's just like Lucy's always here in her chair. I got this chair for Athena before we had Athena. But Athena has a dog bed there, but because she's a husky, she just wants to sleep next to the dog bed, which is, you know, fair. Oh, it looks like my opponent was playing around the Ephemerate. Might have force. No force. Drew an Ephemerate, so it'd be great to find. Right, also drawing this, so it would be so good to find a land off either our Omnath draw or the Risen Reef trigger. We did draw the land, so now we can put a land into play if we hit one. Which is why I stack the triggers like that. Alright, so now we're going to Ephemerate our Harbinger. Find a Fury? Yeah, I guess Fury. Stack the Evoke last. Unlikely to find another Ephemerate. We want to give yourself a chance to do so, of course. Oh, sorry. This is so funny and embarrassing. I missed like 3 Risen Reef triggers. I could have just recommissioned the Reefed and Awakened. What a silly deck, huh? I do want to put a 4. Can't get anything back this way. Oh, I love Slitherhead. One time I tweeted out just the picture of Slitherhead, and everyone was like expecting a brew with it the next day, which is, I thought, pretty funny. I just picked this. Who walks the dog? Me and Esther walk the dogs together after she gets off work usually.
Are they both here? I put them outside for a little bit, and then there was thunder.
Oh no!
And Athena goes.
Yeah, Athena hates the thunder.
I'm so sorry, Athena. She's so anxious.
It's pretty messed up that you.
I didn't mean to.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to.
My opponent is super dead.
Did you show off your packs?
I did, yeah. I brought them up. I think you won one Wispmare against both versions of Rhinos, like for the Blood Moon's Orlay lines, which is kind of an easy cut a mage, bring in a Wisp. I was playing Creativity at the end of last year because of some stuff I've been able to play since. How's the meta looking? Creativity is still one of the best decks, I think. Like there's a great argument for it being the best deck. It doesn't have a ton of weaknesses, has a lot of play to it. It's like just exactly like Splinter Twin, where you just get to play really good, fair, interactive early game into a very powerful combo finish, but your combo is like one card and it plays through like removal spells, so it's great. Athena's such a sweet dog. She's so good, but she hates the thunder. I can't see past water bottle and packs of magic cards. She's so sweet. Back in the very early days of streaming, I had a couch behind me, and Athena was always on that couch behind me. Maybe I'll get one for this room. The Mistwise sideboard's only 14 cards. It's 15, but we have Kaheera, so it's like, wait, we have 15 sideboard cards, right? This is maybe a bug. Hold on, but I just haven't had 14 sideboard cards this whole time. Oh no! Oh, sorry. We meant to add. I meant to add second Fulminator to the sideboard, so we had, okay. We had I thought, did I not get it? We had 2 in the side, we moved 1 to the main. I guess I just didn't move the second one back. Good catch. Good catch. But it's supposed to, we're supposed to have 2 side, 1 main. Funny to trophy. I like your timeless amulet build. What attracts us Fall. Atrax's Fall does not flip your invasion, it just kills it. Let's wait on the fetching here. We may want to get basics for Blood Moon. Yeah, 14 cyber cards became legal a while ago. It used to be so dumb. It was like you could either have 15 cyber cards or 0. You couldn't have 14. You couldn't have in between. But, you know, like a lot of rules in competitive Magic used to just like not make any sense, so they changed them. Will there be more Scales content in the future? Yeah, I think so. I think there's a good chance that most Scales content is going to be like me playing the deck in a tournament, more so than me just saying, hey, Spikelings, today we're playing more Hardened Scales, and we have cut Grove of the Burn Willows for another green and red land, you know, that kind of stuff. But I am definitely open to working on the deck some more, playing it more in tournaments. And if I'm ever, I know I always talk about wanting to, be innovating all the time, blah blah blah, that stuff. But like, if I am ever like just stuck on a day and I don't have anything prepped and I really want to play Scales, I can play Scales. But still, just mostly want to be a brew stream, mostly want to be a try new things stream. Solitude, Brushfire Elemental looking kind of funny against them gaining 10 life, but your post-board configure has cinema creaming cards, registered 6 tires standard for a while. Oh yes, so that's the same number. You can't. Wait, no, you can go up cards. You can't go down. You can't. So if you have 61, you can't go down to 15, right? Oh no, you can. Sorry. This is a rule I learned. I can't remember when. But yeah, you're if you have if you have less than 15 cards in your sideboard, you can pull cards from your main deck into your sideboard postboard, but only up to 15. You can never have more than 15 in your sideboard. And so there was I don't think this deck was any good. Oh, gross. I don't think I could afford to play around that. I don't think this deck was good, but there was like a standard deck that was the coolest ever. They have more Rhinos coming down. Let's just go to game 3. It was the coolest ever. So game 1, they were a mono red aggro deck with Yorion in the sideboard to trick their opponents into thinking that they were a grindy Yorion deck. Really, they were mono red aggro. Their only sideboard card, Yorion. And what they would do is they would side out an Obosh and then also side out 13 other cards to be a 66 card mono red aggro deck with Obosh as a companion in games 2 and 3. And it was like one of the most innovative, ingenious feats of deck building I've ever seen, but also like probably terrible, probably just like totally incorrect at the same time. But it was so creative. I wish I could remember what player it was that that was the originator. Maybe somebody in chat knows. But it's just so cool. Yeah, I think it was back during the early companion days where things were wonky and honest, huh? We're going Breeding Pool, Sacred Foundry. Need to draw land for the Reef. Down to Pet Athena, who hates the Thunder. Can't possibly worth it to get opponent, maybe mulligan to get hands against aggro. Yeah, I agree. In no way do I think that this was like a correct plan, but I do in every way think the plan was so cool. So my opponent did not dead gone my Brushfire Elemental, so I'm going to play the Risen Reef pre-combat. Like, obviously there's no more window to dead gone, and I could hit a land to grow the Elemental here. It did seem like my opponent considered it, though, so it's like, I think it's, yeah, did consider it. Decided to try to play around Reef instead, which makes sense, I think. Now the Reef would be the best draw, red card would be good. There's a red card. Yeah, deck techs are open today. They're really, I think, just going to be closed during weekend tournaments mostly, or if I'm just like, you know, too brain dead, you know, on a particular day. So I think that we are just going to Kaheera in the hand. It could be better to hold up Ephemerate. It's just so telegraphed if we don't put Kaheera in the hand, though, and most of the removal is 2 damage. They have to have, like, exactly Fury, which is pretty bad, but then we still have, like, Solitude, Ephemerate to rebuild, maybe. It's always nice to have a Risen Reef in the yard, too, because you have 4 Recommission, 4 Thunderkin Awakener, which is part of the reason why Recommission is so nice. Just lets you slam so more aggressively. Dead the Brushfire Elemental. So, looks like a pretty telegraphed Violent Outburst. I'm gonna say no. Let's say no to this Ephemerate rebound. Oh, what a draw. I'm not sure that this is correct. But I really like that I can go Kaheera, attack for 8, Vigilance. And if my opponent has Violent Outburst, they're like blocking one of the 4 damage with a Rhino, and then they're like double blocking, and then I get to like destroy with Ephemerate. Although if my opponent just doesn't have it, that's fine. Or just maybe chump block into Violent Outburst is fine. Endurance, okay. So glad I didn't draw a Recommission, huh? Thank you, Dragon Lotus. I am doing well today. Thank you for checking in. Do I mind doing one that's pretty jank, looking for feedback to hazard moves, make it somewhat playable? This honestly, super jank deck techs are really tough to do, because like I don't know what your budget is, I don't know what you're looking for, I don't know like how much like how how much you want me to rip it apart. It's just, it can be tough. So jank deck techs at your own risk. Okay, postally get chat. I can take a look. I can, you know, just provide feedback as long as you don't get promise not to be upset. You're gonna be fine. Everything I suggest is always with love. That's not true. Usually with love, though. Remember when Path to Exile was the modern staple? I remember when it was a modern staple, and I hated it. you had to give your opponent lands. Oh, you remember that? So some people go, huh. Remember when Path to Exile was a modern staple? The modern staple. What a time to be alive. What a beautiful time. And I'm just like, yeah, remember when we had to play Path to Exile? You remember when you had to, like, Path to Exile? You would go fetch, you would have a Scalding Tarn in your hand. You'd be on the draw. Your opponent would hit you for 2 with Goblin Guide. And then you would go, fetch Shock Howled Fountain to path a Goblin Guide on turn 2. I always hated casting Path to Exile. Yeah, I think you'd have Mana Leak, and then they'd have enough mana. Yeah, did you post the deck tech in the chat, Crayons? Because I can't copy paste from the notification view. Wasn't pro before of it every deck back then. No, this is not true actually. I've seen a lot of people have the, like, some people think Gitaxian Probe was like a 4 of in every deck back then. And some people think that it was like really incorrect that Probe wasn't a 4 of in every deck back then. But I think what a lot of people forget was Burn was like the most popular deck in Modern for a long time, where like, you know, it was so popular, it was everywhere. And Gitaxian Probe was like actively terrible against Burn. It was like it was actively terrible against Burn, and Burn was so popular that it just really wasn't very good to main deck Gitaxian Probe in a deck without any synergy for it. But I do think that little factoid gets like forgotten in history. Okay, so if I guess I could have tapped differently, so I could put a land into play to cast this next Reef. That's probably not going to be super necessary. Let me just Solitude this while I have the Reef triggers going, though. Okay, your turn. Bobo Landfling. Okay, so yeah, we've looked at it before. So this is, you know, modern deck. So like, so very like briefly, At first glance, your deck is full of cards that are not playable in Modern. They are too low power level for Modern. This is very much a kitchen table Modern deck. This is the cards I own, the cards I collect, and these are my trade binder. I put deck together a Modern legal deck. This is like a lot of people's like first decks. You know what I mean? I'm just briefly going to go through the list of cards that I consider to be a card I would never consider putting in a Modern deck. Rin and Realmbreaker, I know this is a new one. I really hate this. I know creativity is winning with it. You can play this one. This is probably the more playable. I just don't like the card very much. So then it goes to Reveler. Borber, Rigmosing Rage. You can play this only if you're going to Goryo's Vengeance, not otherwise. Bobo and Flip is actually I think a good enough card to try to build a deck around. It's probably going to be a little underpowered. I think it's not going to end up being some kind of big staple that you can build around, but it can be. You can have a fun this kind of deck built around it, but the rest of your deck needs to be very powerful, and it can't just be, in my opinion, like this power level of decks, if that makes sense. So Brash Taunter, another card I would never consider playing. Cavalier, I would never consider playing. Crusher is a card that you can play in a deck with tons and tons of lands, Life from the Loam synergies. Bobo, Crusher is fine. Not particularly optimal, but fine. Raise Runners, never would play. Meenenden, I would never play. Radical Mystic, I would never play. Rioter, actually kind of a fun card. I think without Sacrifice Outlets, I would not play. You'd have to consider Sacrifice Outlets. Slowwork is fine. Provisioner, I would play Tireless Tracker over. Zerta Druid, I would never play. Cultivate, I would never play. My Herd Migration, never. Rampant Growth, never. Splendid Wreck, sometimes. I actually have played that one. So this is kind of what I was kind of getting at when we're talking about jank deck techs. Jank deck techs are like this a lot, where your deck has like it's like 30 cards that you can kind of like never play. Sparks might go, and so I always have a hard time. I have a hard time with. I guess I could have seen if they double block. I have a hard time with these though. Because I want to give feedback. I want to help you, level up a little bit. But to some extent, like you have very basic level. You have no 1 mana spells in your deck. Modern is a very fast format, lots of cheap interaction. Like if we're just trying to trade binder away, you need to be playing like 4 lightning bolts, maybe like 4 flame slash. Or Dead Gone, so you can have 1 mana interaction. It's Lightning Bolt, Spell Pierce, Mana Leak, Remand. These are the cards that can buy you the time to get to your slow game plan. You also need like 4 of these kind of build around cards like Seismic Assault, and you need to play Seismic Assault. You need to play Life from the Loam too, or Rin. So you have 2 Rins. You can work on collecting some more Rins. Okay, so I'm actually going to cast a Brushfire Elemental first. They kill Reef in response, then I can Vial in another creature. So let's put that into my hand so I can get more Brushfire triggers. Could just play that for turn. So I'll go Harbinger for another copy of Risen Reef. In hand, I think it was 7 months. I'm out of the ad break. What I missed? Oh, you can rewind the VOD. I talked about it for a while. Sorry, I can't just repeat everything. You could rewind the VOD and so you can subscribe next time to does not see the ads. Wouldn't you try to brew a deck with Thunderkin Elemental? I'd like to see a version from you. I don't typically like those decks very much, or at the very least, I think they need a little bit more. I used to play 1 Skelemental in this deck, but you need to have like more black sources via like unclaimed territory. But I tend to think Skelemental's kind of a weak card. It's okay, but like I would try them out. But like a lot of the cards you're surprised I'd play, it's like you have to have like a deck completely built around it, and like every other card has to be really high quality alongside it, and we maybe need more enablers for them in the future. There's a big difference between like a card I try out and card I think is like actively good. Windswept Heath and Dotha Triome. No Gigantha, so likely Rhinos again, and Dotha Triome likely no Blood Moon. So, let's actually just plan to pitch this Thunderkin Awakener to Fury. Blizzard, 25 months, thank you. Huh. Interesting. So it could be Rhinos, could be something else. Let me pass back. I don't think I've seen the Halfling Mana Dork. I missed some of the spoilers, although I've seen early versions of all the cards, I guess. How did I do the PTQ Saturday? I lost in the finals of the PTQ on Saturday, sadly. But I have this stuff that I kind of wish I could trade for a regional champion invite. Regional championship invite. So I guess they're like just 4-color control within Dotha Triome though. Okay, so I guess we can try to bait the Teferi minus on this Aether Vial, and then we can Fury the Teferi next turn. When is next Modern PT? It's the end of July in Barcelona. So I was one match away from a Modern Pro Tour invite and a trip to Barcelona, which. This is something this is kind of funny. I don't feel anything when I lose. Really, I'm a little sad in the moment, but I'm not devastated. But I was getting like pretty emotional at like winning. I don't know. Does that make sense? Like I'm not like upset that I lost, but winning would have definitely meant a lot. It would have been a big deal for me to have won and to have gotten there. I was getting very emotional at the thought of talking about it on stream and telling Esther and telling everybody. But it's okay, there's more important things in life than winning Magic tournaments. Yeah, I don't know. It's I don't know. It's kind of hard to articulate. What did you play? What was the final? So I played. It was a sealed PTQ. So it was all sealed all the time. Yeah, it would have been awesome, and but the truth is, my life is already pretty awesome. Things are going really well for me, so I am. It's just hard to be as lucky as I am and not and be really upset about something like this. We don't have the chance to qualify. Yeah, so I have to qualify for regional championship Dallas. I lost one final match for it, in one of the 2 regional championships I did play for Dallas. I should have tried to qualify harder for Dallas, but at the time I think most people weren't aware that Dallas qualified for Barcelona. So if I knew it was Barcelona in a modern, or maybe I knew Barcelona, I didn't know it was a modern Pro Tour. So I would have definitely have liked to have tried harder to, again, qualify for Barcelona. So that's something. And then I guess we're just targeting here. Yeah, so that's something. And then that's something. And then another thing is what's weird is if I had gotten the Pro Tour invite, I would have been qualified for Barcelona. Apparently, you get a Pro Tour invite if you are not currently qualified. If you win the Pro Tour, so it would have been really nice. It would have been really nice if I could if they would give you the regional championship invite for coming in second or even top 8ing these events. I feel it was a 300 plus person PTQ with it was tough event. I don't know. That would have been nice, but it's also not reality, I guess. So I don't know. I would. It would be good going forward. I think if those tournaments also gave some RC invites. Fluffy, 12 months. Thank you. Two cards in my opponent's hand. I guess they just don't have a removal spell. No, not all RCQs are Pioneer. Their RCQ are sealed, and then this event was a sealed sealed PTQ. But yeah, it's just all weird. I don't know. Yeah, because they wanted to line. They talked about wanting to like line up the formats, right? And they wanted to have like Pioneer feed into Pioneer and Modern feed into Modern. But we have a Pioneer RC that queues for a Modern Pro Tour, which is also just different than what they kind of had said they wanted to do. I'm definitely gonna hope that they don't have a verdict. I guess I can just get another Reef to refuel for next turn if they do. Oh, I'm out of Risen Reefs. Okay, I guess we'll get a Brushfire. Maybe shouldn't have played the Flooded Strand. Okay, let's put that in my hand for the landfall trigger for next turn. And then let's maybe just down to trade. I'm just so ahead on cards. I don't want to just like lose my recommission before a verdict might happen. I also don't think there's much point to using Fulminator Mage. No, I guess they only have one Black Source. Am I going to do much testing for Dallas on stream or off stream? Mostly off. I'm planning, but maybe if I find some interesting stuff on. Yeah, I guess we can just recommission. I don't think they're going to have Verdict and Ephemerate in their deck, though, so we'll see. Okay, probably have lethal next turn, though. Ooh. They have a Fury red card. Okay, they're chaining some stuff. Oh, it's also a big problem. They probably have like an Elishnorn in their deck too. That card is hard to beat. We'll see. Maybe it's just not in the deck anymore. Maybe they never draw one. Maybe I kill them this turn. Oh boy. Looking likely. Looking more and more likely every second. Guess I only have one Risen Reef. Although I can get another one in combat. So no more fetchables is actually pretty bad. I'm down. I can't cast my Harbinger, and I'm missing a landfall trigger. Alright, I pack it in though. I think they're pretty dead. Okay, so up a game against like more traditional 4-color elementals, which is like I think was a really good matchup for you, and then they printed Elishnorn, and it's just hard to like dedicate sideboard cards for it. Although I can maybe just try to Fulminator Mage them off of Elishnorn, which is pretty bad against the Ren and 6 deck. But I can't block. Yeah, I guess if they had a Solitude, they would have used it already, huh? Okay, well, let's run it back. I think we can play one Fulminator over any other card. We're supposed to have a second Fulminator in the sideboard. I don't know how it didn't get added in. Okay, Char, we can get to that. I missed it, but that's okay. I'll believe you. Prison Green. This green is in the title of this deck, huh? Hold on, you have 0. Oh, you have two forests. So this is for 4 main deck Haywire Mites, so that you can, I'm assuming, coding Haywire Mite stuff. I had a version of a deck like this. Hold on. It was like Arbor Elf Utopia Sprawl and the coding effects. Oh, you don't even have those. Okay, you should not have 4 main deck Haywire Mites. So. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why you have 4 main deck Haywire Mites, but they're not good here without like main deck codings and stuff. And you know, a card might be good is if you want to be green is Ancient Stirrings. That card's pretty great. Not the highest level advice, but I think you are probably overthinking it. Like, you can play 1 as a tutor target. I don't even think it's that good. It's probably fine. Play more in the sideboard, but this is just not a 4 main deck Haywire Mite format. You know, these Prison Tron variants, there are definitely some players that really like them, really believe in these variants. I personally have not found a lot of success with them, but I think that, you know, they could definitely be better than I give them credit for. I'm really playing into a Fury hard no matter what I play here. I was also thinking about holding another red card, so if they go Elishnorn, I can just go Evoke Fury. Hope to get them. Yeah, I don't know. So it's just kind of tough. These Prison Tron variants definitely not my forte. I think like the cookbook is like probably overthinking it typically. Okay, so we'll just go Elemental, Landfall, then we'll put Kaheera into our hand. I guess we play around Solitude though, because it's obvious that they have one. Free versus Norn. Yeah, well, you just get to put you just get to put them in play for free, right? When I say Evoke Fury, I'm not trying to kill the Norn. I'm just trying to get 2 0-mana double strikers and then Kaheera to lord them the following turn. But like, there's not much else you can do, right? Okay, so we'll go Kaheera in the hand. I'm not gonna evoke the Fury, I think. Kaheera's so good here. Yeah, I think like Ancient Stirrings makes a lot of sense to me here, but also like you have like no green sources. You have like 2 green forests. You have like no way to filter the mana. You have Inscribed Tablet. I guess just don't play any colored cards, just like the normal Prison Tron lists. Yeah, I just don't know why these mites are here. They just seem so weird. I hate the Basilisk Collar Ballista stuff. Some people like it. I personally always feel like it's really like underpowered, and I just typically would advise against it. Probably. Oh, I guess we can't use the Cavern to landfall our Brushfire Elemental anyways. So let's just go to combat. Cool. Poke them for 1. Fury wipe their board. They got 1 card in their hand. I like the Gemstone Caverns of the board. You're playing 4 Spellsk Guides. You're playing 4 Spellsk Guides. Oh, you're not playing Chalice in the main deck? Yeah, just play 4 Chalice in the main deck over these mites. Yeah. You can play 1 if you want, but you basically can never activate it, so it's kind of tough. It's just, yeah. Ugh. Rough Ephemerate. They have no cards in their hand, though. Okay. Don't have a lot of thoughts. I haven't worked much on the archetype. Fury, Jesse with the commentary. I mean, I think I do want a Fury here so that I can play Kaheera and have lethal next turn. Maybe also not the highest lethal play. But oh look, it definitely looks like I have Ephemerate, right? Because at first I just mistapped, but now I'm like untapping a white source. Not that they would probably do anything different. Yeah, Kaheera is in some ways better than pre-nerf Kaheera in this deck, where yeah, you can pitch it to Solitude and this Kaheera Crashing Footfalls, it's still just sorceries. What a hand. Triple Vial, Omnath, Solitude against Twinless Twin, who's probably up on Murktide, so the Vials are kind of nice. Let's keep. You know, these decks, you know, these like Electro Dominance, Finale, Blood Mirror decks, I've worked on them. I think they suck so much. It's just, there's just so many, like, it's just like when you compare them to Creativity, you compare them to Rhinos, they just don't do anything well. And then, like, they don't do anything well, and you're, like, bad against Graveyard Hate. 5-pack for Thrilling, you've got to give us up for Thrilling, make sure to thank them. So, kind of a scathing review, but... And like, you know, one thing too about this, like, whole thing is, like, when we're talking about potentially making, Bloodbrain Marauder better, it's like, you can't! You can't! Like, you can play Architects of Will. Boom, that's 2 types. You're still not cascading turn 2. You can play Street Wraith, that's a 0 mana type. You're still not cascading turn 2. With Architects of Will, you can spend a mana to cycle, and then you can do like a different thing turn 2 to cascade on turn 3. But you know how you cascade on turn 3? Just freaking Shardless Agent, Violent Outburst. Yeah, I found the Spell Pierce this game. Yeah, I am having a good hair day, I think. Thank you for noticing, Freya. So... Also, like, Finale of Promise is, like, the best card in your deck. It's, like, so much... I don't know, man. I would probably play less Archons in a deck like this. I would be, like, you know, kind of... I'm just playing a Vial in the Brushfire Elemental, and I can get basics around a potential Blood Moon this game. Well, it is worse against, like, the cast Ragavan here, I guess. We'll just go Kaheera in hand, and then probably just take a hit from Ragavan, to be honest. And then next turn maybe force the action with Brushfire Elemental block. We'll see. Yeah, if I was going to work on this deck, I would be like 1 Archon of Cruelty in the deck, 4 Unmarked Grave, 4 Finale Promise, 0 Cathartic Pyre, 4 Scrapwork Mutt, and 4 Invasion of Urgamon would be like the first draft or something like that. And then I would never end up playing it. Yeah, I've played Bloodbrain Marauder in decks that just... You just like get what you get. You're just playing like Dragon Rage's Channeler, you're playing Bauble, you just like are using it as like an okay value card. And it's not great there, but it's not that far away. Whoa! Recommission. Mishra's Bauble. What a gamer. Right, we're going to take both of these up. There's a good chance I just want to Vial in the Omnath and never expose it to a counterspell. I could draw Cavern of Souls also. Murktide definitely a very good matchup. We're 2-0 against Murktide today. Twinless is also a very good Murktide player. I think if my opponent wants to counterspell Kaheera, we're just going to be okay with that. Yeah. Top 8 my RCQ. It was a PTQ. I lost in the finals. What's the most fun play? Choosing to be on the draw. Holding land for Omnath. Yeah, land or another Brushfire Elemental. I guess playing it so I can hardcast Solitude is probably more relevant. Okay, so... I might just pitch the Ephemerate. Let's see what we draw. I'm going to take both of these up. Big draw step. Okay, so we just pitch Omnath, and then we Fury Ephemerate. Oh no, sorry. Sorry. First, I was thinking we could dodge bolts. We can dodge heat this line. We can't dodge bolts. Oh no, is it right to take 9? Oh, why does it feel like it's right to just take the 9? Take the 9. Vial on the Omnath next turn. It seems so fine. I don't know. I should have played this top last turn, or maybe just cast Omnath is correct. Yeah, no, I should have just cast the Omnath. Oh, so dumb. I'm not seeing how long them untap house. I just get to start off by vialing the Omnath. Double Furies maybe. Well, just like lose the bolt on the spot. I've already used Kaheera. Yeah, I should have. The line was just cast Omnath, see what happens, but that's okay. I'm not gonna take 9. See, it's like one thing I like about this is I can potentially like Solitude that gets countered, then like Fury, Ephemerate to try to kill the Murktide if my opponent has a way to stop it. Yeah, the problem with Fury Ephemerate, I think the game is just over if my opponent or like very likely over if my opponent has a bolt. But we can beat heat. So like that line was fine. Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes you just gotta take 9. My opponent can't heat this Omnath. Now I get to go hard cast if I want. I can also ugh. I can use this Omnath to gain 7 and then just take 7. I can also Ephemerate the Omnath defensively. Thought Scour into Delirium. Well, that's hard to play around. Yeah, so much of this thought was that my opponent would not have Delirium for Unholy Heat. Oh no, that's probably wrong. Another iteration too. Exiles Unholy Heat, which is a dead card. Land drop. I think it's better to hold the land for Brushfire because I can just Vial in the Fury. Although maybe drawing another 5. I may find the bolt though. Yeah, it's tough. Yeah, I mean, I definitely could have played that better. I should have just cast the Omnath for sure. I don't know. We're in like really good shape if my opponent doesn't just like doesn't find the Delirium for the heat, which they were like. I think they had no cards in their graveyard, and then went iteration, fetch land, Thought Scour, find Delirium. It's hard to play around. That was not the right line. Too fancy. Yeah, I definitely think just cast Omnath was the play. I was just kind of thinking about like exactly that situation though, where next turn I just start off by vialing into Omnath, and my opponent's in like they're in like it puts so much pressure on their interaction because like they're so unlikely to be able to Unholy Heat the Omnath, and even if they can go like Heat Bolt in response, I get the Ephemerate, and so it's just like I just really didn't think they'd be able to heat the Omnath there, but I was wrong. What deck did I draft in top 32? I drafted Blue-White Knights. I honestly like don't think there was anything else open to my seat. I opened so you reveal like the gold cards or the double face cards. My opponent to my right revealed Shieldred, so I was never going to be in black. And Blue-White Knights was really open for me. White was really open. I opened a Zephyr Singer, pack 1, pick 1. I posted the list, yeah. Let me try to rotate it. And man, Mason didn't even rotate my deck list for me. It was pretty good. I had 2 of the Marshall's Outfiers. I first picked the Zephyr Singer. Curve was pretty good. 2 Realmbreaker's Grasps. 2 of the gold bounce guy. The Tetsuko's pretty good with the Billy Rider. I got a Preen Champion. It was okay. I had some good cyber cards. I had a Tranquil Cove. Although I lost I lost game 1, match 1 in top 8 because I drew Tranquil Cove instead of Plains. I had all islands the whole game. My opponent's like punting a ton. Or this was just a lot. It's a lot to get into. And I just like I win if I draw Plains for my pacifism, and I drew Tranquil Cove instead. Yeah, I think Blue White Knights is pretty good. I kind of want it to be like, I don't know, hard to like pick a deck, I guess, right? It is good. I like Blue White Knights too. Andrea said he didn't like it very much, but I don't know. I also think he had like some bad beats at the PTE. I thought his second day draft deck looked pretty good. Yeah, but I lost in the finals to a really good red black sack deck. I definitely made a mistake. That was tough, but it was also like, I don't know, it's hard to beat myself up too much for it on the 11-hour day. But like my opponent didn't speak a lot of English either, and so like there was like a communication issue maybe. But he had a Judith, the 1/1 Judith in play with a 1/1 counter on it that had been put there from backup, and then he tapped his area to sacrifice a creature, and then just rolled the dice up on the Judith, and I didn't see him roll it up, and he didn't verbally announce the trigger, and I just missed it, and that allowed him to the next turn. I attacked with everything, and that allowed him to sack the Judith and kill my Tetsuko, and allowed him to like just get 2 free blocks on 2 of my creatures, and which I maybe would have lost anyways, but I think I likely would have won if I hadn't known that. And then who would have known what happened in game 3? But that's Drury, not Judith. Oh, I see. Okay, Drury. But yeah, it was really tough, like to lose a game in that way. And it's definitely my fault, right? But just like with the language barrier and the lack of communication, not really something I feel like I'm, need to beat myself up on either. It's an interesting Solitude spot. I really want to save Recommission for Risen Reef. I really don't want to let my opponent connive. We just pass back. If my opponent like main phase heats the Reef, I'll just respond with a Solitude probably. I may pitch the Omnath, but I may also keep Omnath. Yeah, so it was just kind of tough to lose there, but that's just Magic. They're like Ragavan draft. Yeah, I never saw Ragavan in any limited games, but heard some stories. Yeah, I saw Bob. I saw that Bob top 4 the challenge at Timeless Lotus. His tech was really good too. The Storm the Festivals. I think it's close between Storm the Festivals and Escape to the Wilds. Honestly, Escape has been really really good for me, but it is good that like it's much harder to brick with Storm. But losing Gigantha is a hit, so not sure. I also would play the door if I was playing Karn, but I think cutting the door is also fine. I may have some door bias. Oh, feeling good about that just resolving. Yeah, Nathan winning the PT is so sick. Nathan is like, without being too corny, very inspiring. Nathan is like literally just like living out the Pro Tour dream. It's just so cool to see. Does my opponent have anything? Yeah, definitely was supposed to counter the Thunderkin Awakener instead. I guess not. I don't know. I mean, if they're holding for Solitude, but I can just like recommission. I can Awakener back the Solitude now, which is maybe something opponent misses. Kind of hard to see this. I played a land, right? Okay. Just go to game 3. Yeah, but yeah, Bob is really good. Nathan's really good. Has MTG ever won back-to-back world champ? I think Shahar Shinhar won back-to-back worlds, right? I may be wrong. I'm pretty sure Shahar did. Shahar is also I saw Shahar at my first Pro Tour. I don't think I've ever seen him again, but he's like so tall. Like I'm pretty tall. I think I think Shahar is like 6'6", 6'7", or something like that. Yeah, it's just there's so many tall Magic players. Like I remember being like I'm like 6'3", like maybe 6'2", and like Huey and Reed and Shahar are all just towering. They're just like they're all just so jacked too. Their muscles are bulging. They're just deific figures, you know. There's a lot of tall men. How tall is Reed? Reed is like a little taller than me, so I don't know. Like my license says 6'3". I think I'm like 6'2.5". So like Reed is like 6'3", 6'4", I think. Okay, I exaggerate a little bit with the jacked, but just a little. Reed's that tall? I feel like I'm being gaslit. I don't know. Oh, one lander from Twinless. Guess I should have fetched my planes first. Just by affiliate, definitely 5'1". Okay, like you know, to some extent, maybe this is just like the classic like I really look up to Reed in like a. No, Reed is definitely tall. I'm like losing it. Like I really look up to Reed. Reed has like always been one of my role models, and he's just so sweet and so nice, and has always been so nice to me too. So I genuinely do believe he's taller than me. And I'm like 6'2", 6'3". So I feel like I'm being gaslit a little bit about Reed's height. Yeah, it's like, but yeah, this has definitely happened sometimes where you like, you know, metaphorically look up to someone, and so you literally think that they're taller than they are. And maybe I'm shorter, huh? Wow. Guess we're gonna keep it. I'm gonna fetch a plains and then keep it. Oh, well, no, we bought him because it's getting Ragavand. I think they would likely want to be able to cast that. I'd love to draw that one. Three cards in my opponent's hand, all spells. Okay. Cool game here, playing for the trophy. I mean, my opponent has all spells, though I think they would have probably played a Ragavan. Just think about Kaheera in hand versus Recommission. Let's go for Kaheera in hand, because I can't Recommission with Ephemerate up. My name Cat. Is this deck insane? Yeah, this deck's nuts. Like, we lost to Belcher and Tron twice, but those are like the main kinds of matchups you lose to. We beat Murktide twice today. Although we may lose to Twinless, who's a really good Murktide player. I think I punted game 1, but it was a hard game too. Okay, so now that I can Recommission with Ephemerate up, I'm gonna go for Recommission. Weird to me that people just grind leagues all day with Murktide. You know, there's just so many freaking Magic players out there, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I know... Yo, at Magic, Con Minneapolis, there's the game night stage, okay? There's the game night stage, and there are hundreds of people. There's so many people, there's not even enough seating. There are 100 people standing. And these people, who are they? That... Every single time a player plays a spell at this game, they're just going nuts. They're just going... Oh, shit. Can't cast that, huh? Oopsie. Fetch shock, no reason. They're going insane. They're going Gorilla Goblin mode every time any spell in this Commander game is cast. And it's just... There's just a lot of Magic players out there, y'all. They're just... They're so different from... from, I think, the Spikes, you know. I just am so curious what that's like. And if only Modern was like this, too. For people to be so excited about every card Modern's played. So I guess I was supposed to tap the Steam Vents instead of the Forest. That was a mistake I made. Yeah, just having fun. I'm not making fun of them by me saying this. I know it sounds kind of like I'm making fun of them. I'm not. I'm just saying that like their like lived Magic experience is just really different from mine, you know. Why can't you guess Kaheera? Because Kaheera's not an elemental, it's a cat beast. Cat beast. I think I just named it Cavern. Not that it really matters, because I can't beat anything. I can't beat Heat, I can't beat Bolt, I can't beat Counterspell. What can I beat? What can I beat? Nothing. They said the deck destroys Murktide. Yeah. I think I could have won game 1. Well. Sometimes you don't beat Murktide, huh? So at the top, the problem is my opponent just has another Murktide. Because they left spells in their graveyard. So. We're dead. Yeah, literally dead now. I think I could have gone Risen Reef, Evoke Solitude, Find Endurance to chump block. That exactly those. So another 4-1. Boo-hoo, didn't get the trophy. That's okay. I'm still liking the deck a lot. Considering playing it this weekend's challenge. Oh, is this card still randomly expensive because of Pauper, Trailblazer's Torch, or did they ban it? I can't remember. That being said, okay, so we are back from a